Good morning. This is Robert Goodman here on Positive Stroke, staying clean, and I'm blessed to be a part of your recovery. I'm so happy to be able to share about my recovery. And today, actually last night I was in deep thought and I was thinking about when I came into recovery, when I chose to try something different. And how that started was I got tired of doing the same thing, expecting different results. I got tired of conning myself to use and abuse to get more. I got tired of living the pain of what was done to me and what I've done to others in my head rent free. I was ready to give up my way of thinking and my way of doing things. And I gave recovery an honest chance. And in recovery, step one says we admit that we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. I was told I got to get this one right, 110%. That my life was unmanageable due to my use and abuse of drugs. That I lived in my own hell making by continuing the same behavior, expecting different results. Because I was too stubborn to change. Because I wanted to do it my way at all costs. And I was going to do it my way until I get it right my way, which would never happen. Recovery taught me that I would have died in active addiction. Because if it don't work, it just don't work. You're just the one that's stubborn, not changing your behavior, Robert. So I took the path of recovery. And when I entered in it, honestly, to actually do the work, not surfboard through, slide through on a wave, but actually take in the information, use it in my life, and change my behavior and make my life better. Try something new that I have no idea where I'm going to end up, but I know it's better than what I was doing before. A new way of living. Now, I don't know about you, but I understand the pain when I'm in addiction. I understand the getting and using, the issues that come along with it. I understand all that. I know how that goes. I live it. It's not new to me. I know the chances I'm taking. But recovery, I don't know where that's going to lead me. And that scares the hell out of me. I want to know where I'm going. Why? Because I'm not willing to give up power and change my behavior. They told me, Robert, you got to get step one right. That means you got to give up power. You have to trust something greater than you so you can be restored to sanity. Because your way's not working. You shared you've been doing this for 40 years and it ain't worked. Isn't it about time to try something different? And then something else was said to me that was like a two-piece combination to the chin. Robert, why you keep punishing yourself for 40 years when all you had to do was change your behavior? Why are you punishing yourself, Robert? Keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. Why are you hurting yourself when you can just change your behavior and try something new? Because if it ain't worked for 40 years, you know it's not going to work for 41 years. Why you keep doing that to yourself? Ask yourself. And that was the turning point of my life. I realized that I was so engrossed on doing it my way and for everything to blossom like perfect that I couldn't see that I was destroying and hurting myself. That my actions, that I was hurting me. Recovery taught me that you did that to yourself for 40 years. So that means, rather, you can do the most harm to yourself than somebody else can if you don't pay attention. It's easy for you to hurt yourself by making bad choices and being stubborn, not trying to change your behavior to make your life better. Wow. When they say in recovery that we wants to clean the wreckage of our past, they wasn't lying. Because that right there is putting you dead on point to make you look at yourself honestly and openly, to understand that you have been doing it to yourself, Robert. Yeah, you had trauma happen to you, but you were supposed to work through that, go through it, learn how to live with the pain and accept why it was done to you, forgive, and move on. But you rather live in your head and let it live rent free over and over again so you can feel the pain over and over again, and it just intensifies by the more mistakes that you make, the more bad choices that you make that hurt, and it multiplies on that until you're overwhelmed with things that you've done to yourself. And you keep doing the same behavior, expecting different results because you want to be right. Wow. Recovery taught me that I was doing it to myself. And recovery is you recognizing your problem, how you got there, why you got there, why you continued on the behavior that you did, and what you can do to make your life better. That's all recovery is. I learned that by learning myself, my bad side, the side I don't want to look at, when I honestly look at that person and look at it through recovery eyes and look back at the past, how I was thinking in my addictive behavior, because the information of my history, of my past, shows who I was at that particular time. But the wisdom and understanding of my recovery today allows me to look how I got to that point. Because I'm examining the evidence of my actions honestly and openly. Then I realized that recovery is making me better to understand myself, to know thyself, to understand why I feel the way that I do on certain issues, on situations, why I react abruptly, what caused this change of behavior. Getting to know who I am makes me a better person and protects me from me hurting myself and making my life difficult. Because I do the most damage to myself. When I think somebody's going to do something to me, I'm on the defensive. I'm on guard. I'm on watch. When a person changes their behavior from good to questionable, I'm on guard. I'm on watch. But when I'm doing it to myself, if I'm not paying attention to myself, I will not know what I'm doing to myself. Recovery is about you. It's about Robert looking at Robert. It's about Robert going through his own situation, his own past, correcting him, learning about himself, understanding who he is and what he stands for, what he believes in, what he doesn't like, what he likes. And not to be ashamed about the mistakes that he made, but to learn from them. To not allow what people have done to you make you feel ashamed. Yes, you got duped. Yes, you got done. You're not the only person in this world that it hasn't happened to. The problem is not the problem, it's what we do after the problem that's important. Learn from our mistakes, grow from it, forgive. And don't let it live rent free in your head. Cause you to act and do things a certain way because you're affected by the pain of the past or the shame of the past. I hope what I shared today makes you think and understand that recovery is about you. It's about Robert keeping the focus on himself. It's about Robert doing the work on himself to make himself better. And when you make yourself better, you're happier. You're at peace. You're enjoying life on life's terms. And that joy you can share with others. It'll be genuine. But if we're carrying the pain of our mistakes and our past and the trauma, and we haven't worked through it, then them things live rent-free in our head, which control us to act a certain way and to be on guard on a negative way. Will save you from yourself. All you have to do is do one thing, the right thing. Do the next right thing, one day at a time, one situation at a time. Do the next right thing. This is Robert Gilman for Positive Strokes, wishing you a great Monday. Remember, you're the most important person to yourself. When you get up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, thank you, Lord, for allowing me another day, clean and sober. You have a great day.